Again, Dr. Anthony VT, your expert behavioral analyst, licensed global coach, and your directional strategist, maximizing your full potential. Now, as you can see, what we're going to be looking at is how do you outdo the competition? You see, the ambit we're talking about is sales. Whether it's sales as a major corporation, whether it's sales in a small, medium enterprise, or whether it's sales as you as an individual, I want to help you understand if you can actually get this one thing right, and that is to outdo the competition, well, then you just get that step ahead. Wouldn't you love to be a step ahead? Well, come along with me as we take this journey on how to outdo. The first thing we want to look at when we look at this acronym is the word that you and I want to become number one. You want to be known as the number one. You want to be known as the best of the best of the best. How do you do that? Years and years and years of practice and doing it over and over until somebody says, wow, you are definitely the best. So find your little niche, find the area where you are your biggest value add to people. Because ultimately in life we know, and that is that when we want to get ahead in life, we need to do something for others. John Maxwell said, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. That's why you want to make sure that when you say one, that you are number one. You are number one in demand. You're number one on the minds of people. You're number one on the lips of people because they speak about you. How do you get to become number one? Well, there's obviously, when it comes to the systematic approach, we call about search engine optimization, where you literally use the system to drive your sales up and up by means of word recognition. That is one of the ways. You can literally say to yourself, when it comes to what I'm doing currently, you're looking at what ultimately will the people be looking for? Something like growth, personal development, success, the journey, the summit, the ultimate, winner, excellence. So those will be the kind of words that you can actually put in so that you become the number one. That's your search engine optimization. But what about if you already have an existing product in the market and there's multiple products like that? Well, you want to know what makes you unique, what makes you number one. And in many cases it's because you've got a product of excellence. Now, a product can be a physical, tangible product, as we know, or it can be you. You can be the product, but you want to become known as the number one. I mean, whenever you think of a dentist, you want the same dentist name to come up because they know he is brilliant. As it is, when it comes to leadership, surely you would agree with me, the names of John Maxwell will come up, like Jim Rohn will come up. When it comes to entrepreneurs, surely the names of Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki. When I talk about motivational speakers, Tony Robbins, and so we go on. These are the names that just will stand out because they have worked very, very hard at being number one. Well, I want to help you. If you want to outdo the competition, if you want to be that one step ahead, you and I need to learn how to be number one. Then, it's about the you. We want to be the ultimate. We want to be the penultimate where people come to when it comes to your product of choice. And the question is, do you supply the product of choice? Do you have the product of choice? Are you the ultimate destination for the customer to go to? You see, in today's day, there are many places people can go to. As we know, Google is your friend. You can just Google and the service upon service is there. But ultimately, you want to be the ultimate. You want to be the person where people say, when it comes to this entity, go to person X. I believe when it comes to being a behavioral expert, I'm one of the top people in the world, and people will come to me and say, help me find myself. Number one. Number two, help me maximize my own potential. I want to go to the summit. I want to go to stretching me to my limit. Then I believe my name would come up in that mix. And we're on this journey to help you establish your big corporate business, your small medium enterprise, and or yourself. We're busy in this series saying, let's help you always look and be one step ahead of the competition. So looking at the acronym, how to outdo, the first letter was for the O, be number one. The next letter was for the U. And it's something like, it should have been a Y for you, but it's for the U for ultimate. Be the ultimate. Be the one-stop place where people would like to go to. Then we get to the T. What you want to know is that you want to also make sure that what you have as a service addition, as what you offer the market as service excellence, is timeless. Which means they needed it in 1940 and they're going to need it in 2040. Easy as that. 2040, they want to still talk about you because they need your product. Now, one thing we do know, there's a changing market. If you talk about the automotive industry, years ago, if you basically had the best horses, you were in motion. Then that changed. And then the wheel was discovered, as you know. And then we had automobiles. And then after automobiles, obviously we had the higher end, and that is now where we have aeroplanes. That also is a form of automation. Now, what happened here is that one thing that will be timeless will be travel. You and I will be travel. So think of the entities where people will need you to be timeless. Travel is one of those industries. I can't see the world ever stopping traveling. In fact, it's just getting quicker and quicker and faster. But the key is this. Are you one of the service providers? Do you offer a key in one of those industries? Another industry would be food. There's no ways anybody can survive without food. We all know that. There's logic. And the same for energy. If you look at the whole big cosmos, there's no ways that this world can exist without energy. Do you remember the days when you didn't have electricity? When you had a power outage and you backed the candle? Oh my! You had a little taste of what it's like to live like the people who didn't have those luxuries. But those luxuries have become a way of living. Now, with the competition that we have out there, you and I have to learn how to outdo the competition. And therefore you want to make sure, number one, that you become the one. Number two, that you're the ultimate destination. Number three, that your product becomes timeless. Are you timeless? If not, tweak it. Find a way. Find a way to make yourself unique, because that is going to give you the cutting edge. Then after being timeless, there's this one thing saying that you sometimes have to become daring. That's right. You might have to become daring and just step out of your box, out of your comfort zone. Also think out of the box and just go the extra mile. Now, nobody likes this. I can tell you now, I've spoken to people and they are so in their ruts. They're so in their ways that, they don't want to do this. But I want to tell you, you might have to break free. So, I can't help thinking of that record. I want to break free. You have to get to that level. Break free, man. Think out of the box. Say to yourself, let's live another day. It is so important that you and I discover this part of ourselves to be daring. Now, of course, there's different behavioral styles. We do understand that the people who are extroverts find it a little bit more easy to become daring. But here's the truth. If you want to survive as a business person, let's say you're in the service industry. Let's say that you're the person that offers a beauty parlor, and you are excellent at connecting with people and relationships. But sometimes you just have to become a bit daring. Otherwise, your competition might just swallow you up. So think out of the box. Be encouraged today that you have the solution, because you are already in business, or you are thinking about being in business, and these are the key principles that will take you out of the box and take you to success. So let's look at the acronym again. You want to be number one. You want to be the ultimate destination. You want to have a timeless product, and you want to become a little bit daring. Where will this all lead to? We've been working for the past few weeks about how to take your sales to the maximum positioning, whether it's a large corporate or whether it's a small entity. Yes, you can, even as an individual, outdo your competition. And it all comes together like a big symphony with the last word. You want to be called, and you want to know, let's leave it there. You want to know that what they're about to say about you is going to remain forever. What they're going to say about you is so important that people will speak about you. People will write about you. In fact, that's called something like leaving a legacy. What are your grandchildren going to say about you one day? What do your colleagues say about you when you're not there? Do they speak badly behind your back? Or do they talk about you like, wow, such and such a person is such a blessing, such a value add? Well, I want to say to you, this last one is the confirmation whether you actually got it right. And that is, here we go, that you have been to the Oscars. Yes. Ta-da! And that is that they say you've outdone your competition and literally you get the Oscar. It's like standing on that stage and say, I would like to just thank my director, I'd like to thank my crew, and hello Ma, everybody does that. But you want to really stand there with that trophy in your hand and say ultimately that you've outdone the competition because you have followed the principles to maximize your sales. So this is the invite to you. Look at what you can do to basically go next level. Go for the summit of your life. Find what makes you unique. You want to be number one. You want to know what's ultimately the place to go to for the product, and they also want to know that your product is timeless. And then become a little bit daring. Come on, get loose, get out of it, get some energy, man. Yes, get going. And then you want to realize that when you can go, yes, Oscar time, hold the trophy, you know you are a winner. And I want to tell you one thing, you are a winner. You just have to get it in your mind. If you say to yourself, my life is CRAP, guess what? It will feel like that because you tell your mind that all the time. Your subconscious is powerful. Tell yourself you are a winner because you are. It starts by your mouth where you say it and believe it, and say to yourself, I will outdo my competition. Say it right now. Say it with me. I will outdo my competition. And that is my wish for you. So all I can say to you is remember, you want to learn every day, lead yourself, and inspire others. This is Dr. Anthony VT. See you again.